Atlantis was real. What if one of the greatest civilizations in human history was completely erased? Not slowly, not over time, but in a single, devastating moment. A city more advanced than anything in the ancient world, swallowed by the ocean, leaving behind almost nothing. For thousands of years, Atlantis has been called a myth, a legend people stopped taking seriously. But what if we were wrong? What if fragments of the truth have been hidden in history, in the ocean, and even in things we've already discovered? Let's take a closer look at 10 mysterious clues that suggest Atlantis might have actually existed. 1. Plato's detailed story. Everything begins with one man, the ancient Greek philosopher, Plato. Over 2,000 years ago, Plato wrote about Atlantis in two of his works, Timaeus and Critias. But here's what makes this different from a typical myth. He didn't describe Atlantis like a fantasy. He described it like a real place, a powerful civilization, rich in resources, organized with advanced systems, and located beyond the Pillars of Hercules. He even described its layout, circular structures, advanced architecture, and a complex society. And then, he described how it ended. According to Plato, Atlantis was destroyed by earthquakes and floods in a single day and night. Now think about that. That level of detail is unusual for a fictional story. So the question is, was Plato telling a lesson or recording something passed down to him as history? The Santorini eruption. Now imagine standing on an island, a thriving civilization around you, busy streets, strong buildings, advanced culture. And then suddenly, everything changes. Around 1600 BC, the island of Thera, modern-day Santorini, experienced one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in human history. The explosion was massive. It sent ash high into the sky, triggered enormous tsunamis, and wiped out nearby civilizations. Some historians believe this event destroyed the Minoan civilization, but others believe something even more interesting. This catastrophe might be the real-world event behind the Atlantis story. A powerful island civilization, destroyed suddenly by natural disaster. It matches Plato's description in a chilling way. The Bimini Road mystery. Now let's go underwater. Near the Bahamas, in relatively shallow waters, divers discovered something that shouldn't be there. Large, flat limestone blocks, perfectly aligned, forming what looks like a road or a wall, stretching for hundreds of meters. At first glance, it doesn't look random. It looks intentional. Some researchers believe this could be part of a submerged structure, maybe even remains of a lost city. Of course, skeptics argue it's a natural formation. But here's the problem. Nature rarely creates straight lines like this. And that's why the Bimini Road remains one of the most debated discoveries, because it sits right in that uncomfortable space between coincidence and something unexplained. Ancient maps showing lost lands. Now let's step away from the ocean for a moment and look at something equally strange: ancient maps. Some of these maps show land masses that don't exist today. Entire regions, drawn with surprising detail. One of the most famous examples is the Piri Reis map. Created in the 16th century, it appears to show parts of the world that weren't officially discovered at the time. Even more interesting, some believe it shows land beneath Antarctica's ice. So how did ancient map makers know this? Where did this information come from? If these maps were based on even older sources, could they be recording something we've lost? Like an entire continent? The Yonaguni underwater structure. Off the coast of Japan, divers discovered something that looks almost impossible. A massive underwater structure with sharp corners, flat surfaces, terraced steps. At first glance, it looks like ruins, like the remains of a submerged city. Some scientists argue it's natural, but others strongly disagree, because the structure appears too geometric, too precise, too organized. If it is man-made, It would mean that advanced civilizations existed thousands of years earlier than we thought. And that opens the door to a much bigger question. Could Atlantis have been one of them? The Atlantis pattern on Google Earth. A few years ago, something unusual caught people's attention online. Deep in the Atlantic Ocean, visible on Google Earth, a massive grid-like pattern appeared. Straight lines, intersecting at almost perfect angles, forming what looked like a city layout. People quickly labeled it Atlantis, a hidden city beneath the ocean floor. NASA later explained it as a mapping artifact, basically a glitch caused by sonar data. But here's what made people suspicious. The explanation came almost immediately, and for many, it didn't feel satisfying, because the pattern looked too structured, too intentional. So people started asking, was it really just an error, or something we weren't supposed to question? The lost advanced civilization theory. Now let's go even deeper. Some researchers believe something shocking, that human civilization didn't start where we think it did, that advanced societies may have existed long before recorded history, and were completely erased. No cities left, no clear evidence, just myths, stories, and scattered clues. Atlantis could have been one of these civilizations, a society that reached incredible levels of advancement, and then disappeared in a catastrophic event. And if that's possible, then history might not be what we think it is. It might be incomplete. The Azores connection. In the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, you'll find the Azores Islands, beautiful, isolated, and strangely positioned, exactly where many theories place Atlantis. Some geologists believe these islands are actually the peaks of a much larger landmass that once existed above sea level. If that land sank beneath the ocean, the Azores would be the only visible remains. Which leads to a fascinating possibility. Atlantis didn't vanish completely. It just sank. Flood myths around the world. Now here's something that's hard to ignore. Almost every ancient civilization has a story about a great flood. Mesopotamia, ancient Greece, Native American cultures, different parts of the world, but the same core idea, a massive flood, destroying entire civilizations. Why do so many cultures share the same story? Is it coincidence, or is it memory? A shared memory, passed down through generations. If so, Atlantis might not be just one story. It might be part of a global event. Now let's bring it back to reality. Most scientists agree. There is no solid, confirmed evidence that Atlantis ever existed. But they also agree on something else. We know very little about our oceans. More than 80% of the ocean remains unexplored. Think about that. We've explored more of space than we have of our own planet. So if something is down there, hidden, buried, forgotten, there's a real chance we simply haven't found it yet. And that leaves us with one final question. Are we dismissing Atlantis because it's impossible? Or because we haven't discovered it yet? Atlantis has been called a myth for centuries, but myths don't come from nowhere. They come from something, a truth, a memory, or a warning we didn't understand. So what do you think? Was Atlantis just a legend? Or a real civilization lost beneath the ocean? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring mysteries like this, make sure to subscribe, because there are still so many secrets out there waiting to be discovered. And trust me, this is just the beginning.